Thank you.
I am Wade Bates, wandering the Dodge County Fair with Klodowski Real Estate on 95.3 WBEV.
City of Horicon, the views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Good Karma Brands, its management, or its employees. Good morning, happy Wednesday, and welcome to Marsh Talk. We are excited to have our regularly scheduled catch-up with some of the great folks from the City of Horicon. We have joining us the mayor, Josh Moss, and Katie Schwartz, superintendent of Horicon Schools. Great to see both of you here on kickoff day to the fair.
Thanks for having us.
Why aren't we at the fair?
I know. That was
I even
the plan.
dressed for it.
You did dress for the fair. You were perfectly. Yep. You exactly.
I dress like this every day, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So you're. I know. Technology things fail, so we've got our crack team on it, and they're getting things fixed up so we can be broadcasting live back out there later tomorrow. But we appreciate you guys changing plans kind of last minute and joining us here in the studio. And hey, at least now you get to show off your good dress up to the video audience. Otherwise, you would have just had your live audience out there. So there you go. Right. Great Horicon brand right there. So excited to have you guys on. Always great to catch up and see what's happening in Horicon, because there is always great things happening there. And we want to start off because we only get to talk to you once in so often. This is my first time getting to host with you guys. I've been on the other side of the wall producing before, but for folks who maybe aren't familiar with the program, let's just kind of set the table a little bit and talk about why it is that we are here, because there's purpose behind it, right? It's not just you're not just on here to just hear yourselves talk. So there's really a purpose to it. Let's talk a little bit about that. Set the table for why we're here.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a person who sits there and likes to hear myself talk. So this is season 4, episode 1. So this is our 4th year of doing Marsh Talk. We have the wonderful sponsors that you mentioned, including the Marshman Foundation, the Chamber of Commerce, and other folks that, even our city council, that, we want to keep like it says here, our families and community informed of everything that's going on in not only the city of Horicon, but the school district, and it's also better to hear right from the horse's mouth than the rumor mills and the Facebook pages. So this is our opportunity to reach out to folks and let them know what's actually happening.
I was just going to say, in the today's world of social media, a lot of things get spread around. We find oftentimes not completely accurate. So this is a good opportunity for folks to hear right from the people who are right in the heart of all these matters.
Yeah, and we're not here to, I guess, deflect or defend or counteract anything that might be said online. So we try to keep this positive as much as we possibly can. But there's been times we came here and we've introduced some bad information. No one likes to hear about the water rates going up or this or that. So we're just here to, basically keep people informed, like we said.
I think as people in public service, it's important for us to make sure that all of all the people in our community are aware of what's going on, even when sometimes the news we have to deliver isn't something everybody wants to hear. At least then we can be open and honest and transparent about it, but also be willing to celebrate with each other and talk about the great things that are happening in the community, because we have a pretty incredible community in Horicon, and we want to make sure that we can celebrate that too.
Yeah, you make a good point, right? Sometimes things happen. Sometimes we have to deliver some tougher news, but I think it's always better to hear that directly from the people involved rather than maybe hearing it second, third, fourth hand. Is this accurate? Is this not accurate? And obviously, the two of you in your roles have very, very busy schedules, and I know you guys love catching up with people in your community, and you try to do that as much as possible. But there's just not enough time in a day to catch up individually with everybody. So for those you can't catch up with, this kind of provides a good opportunity as well. So really excited to have you guys back. I forgot, Mayor Moss, I'm so glad you brought up. I forget that we've been on break with you over the summer. So this is, we kicking off season 4. I kind of feel a little especially honored now to be hosting.
Yeah, hey, we'll get you a hat.
Oh yeah, I like that. I'll take that for sure.
If
Well,
you were wearing a Cubs shirt, you wouldn't get a hat, but I like
no,
your shirt, so
yeah.
we're good.
Well, you gotta support that red hot. Apparently, looking at the score last night, I thought maybe they played a football game. Actually,
Now, the game got really old after about the sixth inning.
22-0 they won yesterday. So
Like a
would love
classic
to.
little league blowout is.
Yeah,
what that
exactly,
feels like.
exactly.
The way the Mariners were fielding their positions, it did literally look like a little league.
It really, it kind of did. I mean, yeah, sure, the bats were hot, but the Mariners certainly helped us out a little bit with that. So yeah,
We'll take it.
But we'll take it. Yeah, exactly. There was I'm sure people watching saw the hilarity, and I don't even remember what inning it was where Rodriguez, the pitcher for the Mariners, thought it was the third out. Didn't realize it was the second, so he just kind of lobbed the ball over towards the catcher, not realizing Yelich was at the plate, and just knocked it out of there. So, yeah, mistakes happen. But well, let's jump into talking about some of the things going on in Horicon. And Mayor Moss, we'll kind of start with you. Some of these city matters. It's kind of a good chance after the summer to catch up with some of the things. Where do you want to start? Let's start. I know you've got some things you wanted to talk about with the wastewater plant. Why don't we start there?
Yeah, let's start with the wastewater plant. So I'm sure everyone has seen all summer long going up and down Valley Street, the dump trucks. We are on schedule. They had to dig some pretty big holes in some pretty marshy land along the Rock River there, but everything is on schedule. From what I'm understanding from our team out there, we found ways to cut costs, which kind of helps with, the inevitable cost overruns, but there's the overruns are built in any project. As of right now, I would say the savings are probably pretty equal or greater than the actual than the overruns. We found some ways to get some permits that also saved us some money. And as far as timing goes, we're right on schedule. So that's the key. Nothing's worse than when you're sitting there with the wettest April on record, then the driest May on record, then whatever you want to call
Whatever
June.
June was.
We'll talk about June a little later on in Horicon. And then July was just ungodly hot. Mm-hmm. And then so far here in August, either it's hot or we get 2 inches of rain in 5 minutes, like last night.
I was going to say, that sounds familiar.
And that 2 inches of rain, that's happened 3 times in the last, 12 days? Where it just bombed really hard.
Yeah.
And so it's, when you're doing a large construction project, that makes it a little tougher.
I was going to say, that is not necessarily ideal.
But they've been able to put the dewatering process into these holes that today I was out there this morning and they said, it's dry. Blew my mind.
Wow.
My yard's not dry, but somehow a big hole in the ground is dry.
I was going to say, I was out at the fairgrounds just an hour ago. That it's drying up, but it was still, a lot of things out there still
And
wet
that's
yet.
why you build those auxiliary wells and drainage holes and drainage ditches outside in these projects, just so you keep on track. So we're excited. The wastewater plant is on pace. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and that's got to be a relief to you as well when you're sitting, when you're getting mid-August and you're kind of reaching that home stretch of the construction season and you're looking the cold season, in the eye, that you're not behind. That's a bad feeling.
Yeah, you can't really take any kind of prior weather standards into effect because now it seems like winter. I mean, we had our biggest snowfall of the year in the middle of March last year, and then 2 days later it was 55 and it all disappeared. But there's also times where it's been sunny and 60 in the middle of December, so they're just going to work up as long as they possibly can.
Sure.
But you still have to plan for you can't beat the frost or when the ground gets frozen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to try to beat that as much as possible, like you said. So you got to stay on schedule during construction season. That was well put.
Super El Nino might help with that.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm looking for.
yeah, we'll find out.
Super El Nino.
We'll find out. Well, it's good to hear that is on schedule. That's the update you want to hear. It's also, we always kind of say the Dodge County Fair is sort of the indicator that we are wrapping up summer, and that also means that pool season is coming to an end.
Yep, this year the pool closed on Saturday. In the past, with kids that work at the pool, either they're going back to college or they're starting in sports. And attendance generally drops pretty significantly in August. It did for us, even when it was 85 and sunny. So the pool is closed for summer. We had a pretty good pool season. We had multiple days this year with heat index warnings, like excessive heat warnings.
Yeah.
On those days, we opened it up. Those were pretty nice attendance days at the pool.
Excuse me.
But it was a weird year. There wasn't as many people in there. It's not like when we were growing up there where everybody just congregated at the pool. There's so many different things people can do now, but we're really appreciative of those who came. We had a very good lifeguard staff, very good front desk staff, and they all worked really hard. We're part of that consortium of pools in the county that the YMCA oversees.
Yeah.
So Ellie Moore and her team did a great job. Very happy with the pool this summer.
I know my kids were over there a few times this summer with the wife, and I know every time they came home, they were just thrilled. They're like, we didn't want to leave. The youngest, actually, the last time they were there here a couple weeks ago, and the youngest was all excited, couldn't wait for Dad to get home from work to tell him that she finally did the water slide by herself. So she was all excited about that. So that was fun. So yeah, that season comes to an end, and it's kind of been the theme as we've been talking these last few minutes, Mayor, is weather. Weather has been very, very interesting this summer, and certainly I think most folks know has had a pretty significant effect over there in Horicon.
Yeah, June 10th was quite a day. It was, just looking back on that date and, rushing back from Madison where I work and getting in the truck with Cody because we're going to go spot because we heard the sirens and stuff go off. And
Am I just learning here that you're a trained storm spotter?
Well, I kind of do that for a living.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, I work down. My full-time job is with DOJ. I do emergency management for the state level. So I understand this stuff. So I was with Cody, and who's our director of utilities and DPW. We just took a right at our one stoplight in town, and we're heading downtown when the literal wind blast from hell started dropping roof on us across the street, over the buildings across the street. And the good thing is that the O'Neill sisters kind of got it on video, and it made it all over the nation. I saw it actually on the CNN, I think. So,
I saw it on multiple national outlets.
And it was something. And when we only had that short block left of, old-fashioned, historical downtown, typical old downtown Wisconsin, but those buildings just haven't recovered. And most of the questions I've gotten in the last 2 months is, what's the status? What's the status? There is a status. We can't really talk about it publicly yet.
Okay.
But everything's moving.
Okay.
So that's the important thing, is that there is a conclusion. We're not at liberty to really talk about it, but everything will clear up in the next 30 days or so.
Oh, great.
We're there.
Yeah, that's a hopeful update.
And it's nothing's worse than seeing a downtown. You come up from the Beaver Dam side of Highway 33, you cross the bridge, you see how nice, really nice Blue Heron looks, right? The landing where everyone goes on.
Yep.
It's amazing looking. You see you got John Deere with their big brand new mural. It looks amazing.
Oh, I saw that recently. That looks great.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
The Bowling Green Park looks amazing. And then you see the back side of our downtown. So the south-facing side of our south side of, I guess it's East Lake Street. And it just looks like, it just looks awful.
Yeah.
It looks like a weather event.
Yeah, it looks like a weather event hit it. Yeah.
And, we had a building that else take down because we're in the process of redoing that parking lot for our businesses downtown. So there's a building the city purchased along with some assistance from Dodge County, where we're going to be fixing that whole downtown area, making, new parking, new lights, new parking spots. We're going to get 17, 18 more parking spots, and it'll definitely benefit not only the businesses on that south side of the road, but it'll give better access to the ones on the north side of the road, like the bank or Modern Woodman, even City Hall, definitely Aronda's, even Blue Heron. So right now, that little block of Horicon really looks awful. but we're working really hard to get that fixed up.
It's interesting too, going back, as mayor, when after that weather event happened, and I know we were getting updates from you on how things were going with the recovery, and it puts you in an interesting position because you weren't just a mayor heading down to the affected area to respond and see the damage. You were literally in the thick of it.
Just, in the year before, we had those 2 tornadoes.
Yeah.
And just happened to be in a truck with Cody again. When we were spotting out at Moraine Park, we saw it coming, so we rushed into town. We saw the town go instantly dark. We tried to get down to the shop, which is down by Riverbend Park, and we're literally at Riverbend Park when we saw full trees hitting us. So, yeah, Cody and I dove headfirst into a tornado on May 15th of 2025. We got to have roofs blow on top of our head on June 10th, 2026. So we're wondering next year if either a volcano is going to pop out of the marsh, we're going to have the first Wisconsin earthquake that's of any size or scope, or a hurricane that comes off Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan hurricane.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe you and Cody need to be in different trucks moving forward.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah. But that brings us to around, right? Obviously, those are challenges that you can't prevent. These are acts of nature, as they call them in legal terms. They're not something you can prevent. You can certainly, try to be prepared for them as possible. There's only so much you can do there. But what really matters is kind of what comes after, isn't it?
Yeah, and we did prepare. We were after the 2025. Our fire department was there so fast. I mean, they handled it, not only ours, but then all the ones that came in on a Mavis call, and and they handle it really well. Even we have a little bit of we have an emergency management person in town too, which generally cities our size don't have. We had Red Cross that was there for displaced residents. We were working with the school district for anything we needed too. So we prepare, we train, we do tabletop exercises, not really complete full scale, but full scale is more for like the EMS and stuff like that. But we all do these exercises together. So each part of it. In this one, specifically, because it happened downtown, a group of folks that we really didn't need as much on May 15th, that were the tornadoes, were probably the stars of the downtown event. That's our City Hall staff. They were there all night. They had to make sure that, City Hall was open for people to come and stay. Our City Hall staff, so our clerk, our treasurer, we have an assistant clerk who's also an EMT. She grabbed her go bag and was with the first EMT person down on the scene. Yeah, City Hall, they dominated.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was the best part. They were just great. So we do prepare, and we're ready to respond. And I thought all of our city departments were excellent. And now we're going to be even more ready for the next one.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing here, I think, is a community that comes together, and the word that comes to mind is I know something you wanted to chat about before we talk a little bit about the school district, which is unity.
Yeah, I know she's listening. Our city clerk, I'll even say her name, Chris Spilker. So, Chris, if you're listening, she has an initiative that she's been trying to do, and she's doing a really good job. It's just unity. Our department heads all work together, and they get along. They work hard. They accomplish goals. They're modernizing a lot of our processes. But the most important thing is just having a nice place to work. You're trying to get away from, we don't have anything that resembles a toxic workplace, but when stuff starts getting a little heated, they work together. And they try to make sure that it just stops there. And that's a good thing. And we get a lot more done when I'm not getting calls on I'm mad at this person, I'm mad at this. I don't necessarily care. You guys are adults, work it out. But their interactions are actually genuine. They like each other, they work hard together, they accomplish a lot, and that's what we were shooting for, and I think we're there. We have all our departments on the same page, and we're all moving towards the same goal, which is making Horicon better.
Yeah, exactly. Talking with Horicon Mayor Josh Moss. Speaking of weather, too, I mean, not only have you had the big weather events, you've had a few near misses this summer, last night being no exception, right? Had a storm system roll through there. Fortunately, that not too much came of that one. You had one, too, about a month ago, a little under a month ago, and I know this because that very same day, the Goodyear blimp made its way past Horicon because people who know me know I'm a bit of an aviation enthusiast. EAA had wrapped up at Oshkosh, and I looked at the flight radar and saw, wait a minute, the Goodyear blimp is leaving Oshkosh, and it's kind of headed straight this direction. So we kind of kept it. Fortunately, it only moves at about 25 miles an hour up there. So we kind of kept an eye on its path, and we went, yeah, it's gonna like go right past Horicon. So we hopped in a station vehicle and quick hopped over there. We got a video of it up to our Facebook page, and it was interesting because we were out there getting some pictures and video for our Facebook, and pretty much before it was even out of our sight, we had to jet back because all of a sudden it was literally outrunning a storm coming in from that Oshkosh, and that was sadly the storm that did so much devastation up in Menasha. So we got really lucky when it came back.
And
here.
that one right to our east, we were prepared. It was, the sky even turned that strange shade of aqua.
Yep.
And we're like, oh hell, here it comes. But it didn't. And yes, we were excited. I love the Goodyear blimp too.
Yes.
Ever since, the first time I went to a Rose Bowl, I'm a Badger. So 1993, it was January 1st, 94. I love the Goodyear blimp. And my poor kids have to hear about my love of the Goodyear blimp all the time. So when it went over Horicon, the amount of pictures I got from the Goodyear blimp was from people in town. Pretty cool to have it go over town. Of course, I missed it.
Oh, that's too bad.
But
I was
they
pretty
all got
excited.
to enjoy that greatness of that.
Yeah,
thing.
it was kind of a bucket list. I've seen a lot of different aircraft, and that one's always eluded me. And so it was there last year, but I missed its flight in and back, and so I was pretty excited that I got to catch that.
And you got to see the Goodyear blimp getting the hell out of town.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to outrace the storm. So again, that is Horicon Mayor Josh Moss, and at this point, we're going to transition a little bit over and start talking more about Horicon School District because lots of exciting things happening there. It's just generally an exciting time of year because I've got 3 kids of my own, so I know it's back to school time.
And you're probably looking forward to that, I'm guessing.
I think my wife is probably more than I am. It doesn't usually affect me much. I don't know much difference because I'm gone before they head to school, and by the time I'm back, they're already back from school.
Sure.
But I think my wife's ready. Yeah.
There are few things more exciting to kids and families than going back to school. There's just such an exciting time of the year. Kids don't like their summers to end, but I think as families, we all understand that a little structure and routine is a good thing for all of our lives. And as an educator for my entire professional career, I have been blessed with the opportunity to get excited to go back to school every year. And just like we get equally excited when school's over, there's that excitement of the end of the school year. We get the excitement of coming back to school. It's a little bit different on the district office end of things because summer is our busy time in our offices, trying to make sure we're wrapping up the last year's fiscal budget.
Sure.
We're starting the next year. We've got a foot in both years. I need to start by saying thank you to all of our staff who work really hard over the summer to make the next year possible.
Yeah.
So to all of the people in our district office and our school offices, they have done an incredible job and work very, very hard to make sure that we're ready to go. Our administrative team puts a ton of time in over the summer to make sure that we're ready to go as well. And I have to say, too, our campus looks better than ever. So between Brian Berggren and Debbie Rogenbauer and their staff, our custodial crew has been amazing, just as they always are. But I honestly don't know if our campus has ever looked better. And it is ready for kids. We're excited to have everybody back. Of course, we start September 1st.
Okay.
But we will begin with our in-services all of next week. Actually, tomorrow we bring our brand new teachers on campus and have our teachers and their mentors. Part of the day I will take tomorrow in our school van, and I'm going to drive everybody around to each of our communities so that we understand where all of our kids are coming from between Horicon and Burnett and Iron Ridge areas in between. So we'll take a tour of the area and make sure we're acquainted with each of the communities that we serve.
As the superintendent, is that day where you get to come in and have all that new staff there? Like, that's got to be a pretty exciting experience for you.
It's very exciting, and I can remember now all of our new staff aren't all brand new teachers, right? So
Sure.
anyone from a brand new teacher all the way to someone with significant experience, we have an incredible group coming in. But I remember each time I had a new school year in a different district, there's some anticipation and anxiety and excitement that you have. And especially as a brand new teacher, being able to see your classroom for the first time. And I mean, they've had their keys for a while now, but to bring them in and help them understand who Horicon is, who we serve, and the values that we have, I'm really excited to be with them tomorrow.
And I love that you make a point to introduce them to all those outlier communities too that are part of Horicon School District. I know you mentioned too, obviously, you know, your office staff, your custodial crew, maintenance have been super hard at work all summer getting things ready for the school year. I imagine that includes also the IT department. I imagine they've been working hard too getting things ready.
IT Department of One, Alex Watley is our man, and he does a great job making sure that all of those components are up and running, making sure our devices are ready to go. It is no small task.
Yeah, and these days there's a lot of technology that has to get done. You know, it used to be maybe like one computer lab of computers. You kind of, or you're just your staff. Or your one computer. You know, your one office computer. Now it's a lot more than that now. So.
Yeah, our software integrations, making sure that each of our third-party vendors are connected and working with our student information system. So. Alex is amazing, and he's done a great job. So we're ready to roll and ready to have kids back.
Fantastic. Well, before we get too much into the school year, one thing I know you want to touch on is just kind of wrapping up, talking a little bit about the great summer meal program that you had. Touch on that a little
Kim
bit.
Wake is our food service director, and Kim and her staff work hard all summer. The free meal program that we have through the federal government provides a really great resource to all of our community. And I asked her in preparation for our board meeting this week too. We have one more feeding day left. It's coming up on tomorrow. And she anticipates just tomorrow that she will have 1,200 breakfasts and 1,200 lunches served.
Wow.
Any child in our community is able to take part in that, and families sign up ahead of time. But over the course of the summer, we served just about 11,346 breakfasts and 12,268 lunches.
That's a lot.
In our little city of Horicon. And so, you know, that I think the benefit of being able to make sure that students and kids in the community are nourished and have nutritious meals throughout the summer is really important, because it's hard for families. Budgets are hard. We all know that costs are high. And so the ability to provide these resources to the community are really valuable to us. So I would encourage anyone, as we come into the school year then, anyone who needs assistance really needs to apply for free and reduced lunches. I don't know if everyone knows, but that process also helps us in other federal programs that we get for additional monies related to professional development, our Title I programs for reading. Those are all incredibly valuable, and we want to be able to help people. And that program exists in order to do that. We do qualify as a district currently that all of our students in the district get free breakfast every day. And then all of our elementary and middle school students get free lunches as well. But we still need families to fill out that paperwork.
Okay, very good to know.
Yeah.
Talking with Katie Schwartz, superintendent at Horicon Schools. Obviously, as you mentioned, school year getting underway very soon. September 1st, I think you said, is day one. Obviously, you mentioned tomorrow you have the new staff reporting. But you're jumping into the start of the school year. Lots to talk about with that. And that is, you mentioned the new staff tomorrow, but coming up next week, you've got a district retreat.
District retreat. Every year we start off with everybody who's a part of our campus on campus all at the same time. And we call that the district retreat. We will gather together on Monday, and that day is spent kind of gathering back together and making sure that we are all on one page. And our focus for this year is going to be a laser-like focus on learning. And that will be the theme that I'll be bringing back through all of our work, making sure that we are laser-like focused on learning. All the decisions we make, all of the systems we put in place need to be aligned for learning purposes. That's why we exist. So I'm really excited to bring the whole staff together on the 24th. Everybody from our consistent substitutes through our teachers, our custodial staff, our kitchen staff, we all come together. And we will then start in service for our instructional staff on Tuesday. And as a part of that, the entire staff again, all the way from custodians to administration and kitchen staff and our teachers and our paras, everyone will be coming together on Tuesday in partnership with Dodge County Sheriff's Department and Emergency Management, and we'll be relaunching our school safety and active shooter training. So those are topics that none of us want to talk about,
Right.
but they are a strong reality of making sure, just like the mayor's talking about being prepared, we need to be prepared for those situations as well. I spent a couple hours online this morning with that entire team, making sure that our training programs are ready to go and that we're ready to launch. And I do need everybody to understand and know what our protocols are in the event of an emergency. So whether it's an active shooter drill or training or preparing for fire drills, which we have to do monthly, making sure that our staff are all on the same page is of critical importance, because just as much as we need to be laser focused on learning, we need to keep kids safe. And so that's very important for us.
Very important. And you guys, of course, have some great local partnerships with local agencies that help you with that too.
Yeah, including our local police department, our school resource officer, Sergeant Stocks, Chief Birkin. Everybody is aligned and on the same page. And I couldn't ask for a better team of people to work with, including the sheriff department. So I look forward to that opportunity to just have everybody together and on the same page. And we'll continue to get better and make sure that we address any of our programs that need to have some tweaks in our systems to make sure we're safe. We're going to make sure and do that. Our campus is exceptionally secure. You cannot get in our buildings when kids are present without being, buzzed into the office and then checked in. And still, we have to make sure that all of our staff understand the protocols to keep it that way. We don't prop doors open. We don't let strangers in other doors. We have safety protocols in place to make sure that kids are safe and learning can happen. So excited for that.
Very good. Again, talking with Superintendent Katie Schwartz from Horicon School District. You mentioned new staff reporting tomorrow. You got the district retreat coming up next week, Monday. And then you've got open house coming up next week, too.
You're shopping for school supplies. You mentioned you've got your 3 kids ready to go back to school, so you're buying all the tissues and everything that you need to come back with. Our open house is next Wednesday from 4:30 to 6:30, and that is the time when people can come drop off all those school supplies so that when they come to school on the first day with their new little backpacks, they don't have to be burdened with all the extra stuff. And our teachers are very excited to meet their new students. And open house is a great time to do that. And for our older kids to come get their locker combinations, walk their schedules, all of that can happen. In order to do that, we do need to make sure that all of our kids are registered. So we have quite a few families yet who have still not gone online to do the official registration process where they sign off the paperwork, update emergency contacts, sign off on the acceptable use policy, because kids can't use the technology we've prepared unless they've signed off. So I would encourage any of our families listening, if they haven't registered yet, to go online and do that, and then call us if they have any issues. Our bus registrations were actually due on Monday. So I know if families still have some of that paperwork remaining, they should get that sent in to Cindy Lucht at Johnson Bus as soon as possible.
Are we still doing town busing?
We still do in-town busing, yes. We have multiple points in town where kids can hop on the local buses and come in. I know when I was a kid, in-town busing wasn't a thing. But given the nature of the major highways that run through our city, it's really important for us to have those opportunities for kids to safely get to school. We do have safe routes to school if they are walking, and certainly lots of lots of safety measures downtown to help them cross the street. But with Johnson Bus as our local partner and contracted partner for busing, I couldn't be happier with the plans we have in place with them too. But they still need to be registered to ride the bus.
Exactly.
So you can't just hop on without having a plan.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. That is very important. Again, talking with Superintendent Katie Schwartz from Horicon School District, and I know we're getting down to the last few minutes of the program. I want to make sure we can touch on as many things as possible because I know there's so much going on. Let's talk school schedules. School schedules, are they out? How do we find out?
They're posted. Most of the kids have been stalking Power School to make sure, and now that they're live, they can log into Power School, see what their options are.
Okay.
Of course, if they have questions about their schedule, we have a process in place for them to contact Mrs. DeZeo if they have any questions. But we have lots of great things coming up for the school year, including a Girls on the Run program.
This is a wonderful program. I had a kiddo that participated in this the last year. It isn't. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, it is incredible. We have a few spots left, and Mrs. Leogan, our school psychologist, runs the program. They get together a couple times a week to practice running, and really it's about building friendships and teamwork and confidence for our young girls. And so I would encourage any of the families who are interested in taking part in that to get them signed up.
Absolutely. And of course, as we kick off school, I know a lot of people are thinking fall sports. Tell us a little bit about fall sports and Horicon.
All of our kids in sports are now ready to go. Football started August 4th with practices, and their first game with Coach Selgrad and his new staff will take place this Friday at La Myra. Very excited for the work that they're about to do, and they've had a really good preparation so far, and I'm excited to see them progress.
Horicon Revenge Tour starts now.
That's right.
Okay.
Excited to be back in a new conference that I think is a little better fit for our size. We will continue our co-op with Hughesford. We have very small numbers there. So for the students who remain in the co-op, all of our home games will be played at Sword Field, though, in Horicon, just to make sure that everyone is aware that all of the games will be played at Horicon because of the situation in Hughesford. We have 4 games coming up that will be covered by the Daily Dodge, and I am super excited about that.
We are as well. We're excited to get
Yes.
some games on the schedule.
Talked to Wade on the way in. I think it'll be a great opportunity. August 28th, September 11th, October 2nd, and October 9th, all to be covered. So thank you for that coverage as well, and
awesome.
we're excited for that.
Absolutely.
Our cross-country teams and our volleyball team started this week as well. We've got contests coming up for all of them. Our first home meet for cross-country is at River Bend on September 3rd, and volleyball opens up on Tuesday the 25th at 5 p.m. With their invite as well. So excited for that. Our community should know now that we're looking to sell all of our tickets for events online through a new program called Bound.
Okay.
It is far superior to the previous program we were using. And you can go on our website and through our social media posts and get your tickets there. Seniors, citizens are always free, and they just have to ask when they come in the door and get their
And
free
Horicon
pass.
seniors are at 50 and above, right?
Sure.
Mayor Moss is trying to figure out his monthly budget.
Yeah, no. So senior citizens can certainly talk with our event staff and then get their free passes. We want to fill the stands as much as possible.
Fantastic. We've got just about 3 or 4 minutes left. So I'm going to let you tell me what we want to make sure we touch on here with our remaining couple of minutes.
Yeah, I will. We had our preliminary budget hearing on Monday night. And I will have a lot more information coming about this when we have our annual meeting in September, and we'll pass our final budget in October. I think for now it's important for us to know that although we anticipated a significant deficit last year, we had projected a $155,000 deficit, we are going to come out with a surplus. And so that is largely because of our inability to fill all of our staffing positions that mostly support staff that left last year. But also just due to some changes in salary and benefits, we were able to capitalize on that and see a surplus. So that's great news for the taxpayers. We'll end with a larger fund balance than we started. So that's great news. We are projecting a pretty significant deficit coming into this next school year, and this is not a surprise. I've been talking about it for the last year. The changes in state funding continue to impact us locally at the district level, and I'll talk more about that as we go throughout the year. As it looks right now, though, our levy looks like it's going to be pretty decent and potentially a lower mill rate than last year, so that's exciting.
And Horacon's certainly not alone in that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Nope, it is a statewide thing, a statewide problem. But I'd like to invite everybody to join me on September 17th when we have our community coffee. It'll be our first one for the year. Join us in the district office from 8:30 to 9:30. That's a great opportunity not only to get some more information from me, but see some different presentations by students. I just love having everybody on campus and giving everybody an update that way. Our local residents probably saw that they should have received the district mailer that we send out every August.
Okay.
We did learn that there are some parts of our community that may not have gotten them, so I would like people to call our district office and let us know. We have it available online, and we have a few extra copies, but if there were issues with our bulk mailing, I do want to know that so we can address that in the future. Finally, we recently wrapped up our Marshman Open. Our fifth annual Marshman Open was held on last week, Saturday, the 15th. Mayor Moss golfed.
It was fun.
On his team. It was great to have everybody there. We had
got city employees to do it with me.
Did you golf, or did you just like swing a club?
No, that would be the other two city employees.
Yeah.
That's all I would do, is just swing a club.
I golfed.
We had a full 32 teams and incredible participation. And with the Marshman Foundation's annual campaign, happy to say that we're estimating that the fundraising with the foundation up to date surpasses $51,000 so far this year. And it's just another testament to the way the community comes together to support our schools. Whether people participate in fundraising for the Marshman Foundation, the Athletic Booster Club, the PTO, it takes all of us together to make this work, and I'm just really grateful for our community's support.
Very good. Superintendent Katie Schwartz with Horicon School District. And again, a reminder, some of those important dates. August 26th is open house next Wednesday for all the kids coming back. September 1st is the first day of school. And then you've got the coffee, Marshman Coffee, September 17th. And homecoming around the corner, too.
September 25th. Excited to have everybody on campus for that as well, and the parade and everything will be in Horicon.
Okay.
And so we'll be excited to get that launched and make sure the whole community can come together for that. I'd also like to say thank you to the Marsh Area Chamber of Commerce. The Foundation and the Chamber of Commerce are the two major sponsors we have besides our own budgets to make this program happen. And so just special thanks to those groups who make this continue to happen.
All right, Mayor Moss, final thoughts here today.
Yeah, I want to thank them. I'm going to thank those folks too. I know I did at the beginning, but thank you to the Marshman Foundation and thank you to the Marsh Area Chamber of Commerce. I know that you guys have been a lot more active on your Facebook and love to share any post I put out there to about 10 different spots. But when we do something like this with the radio, it gets a lot more eyes and ears on what we're doing. So we appreciate you and thank you. And a lot of your events that we know that are coming up this fall, we'll be able to talk a little bit more in depth next month.
Yep.
All right.
I'll bring a big list of those.
Yes, looking forward to that. This hour always goes by so quickly. So Horicon Mayor Josh Moss, Horicon Superintendent Katie Schwartz, great to catch up with you both, and excited to have you back on, and we'll see you again next month.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. The preceding program was a paid presentation of Horicon School District and the City of Horicon. The views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Good Comer Brands, its management, or its employees.